name's Justin. I came to City Press with my wife, Danette, and some of our kids in 2011. We came back home to plant a church, and I started working with Crossroads Fellowship at the time and Pastor Mike. And he was very gracious to bring us into this church, and he was going to send us out. But then in 2013, he received a call to go back to St. Louis. And eventually the church called me to be the pastor here. In 2016, I first made the impossible prayer request that I would be healthy. And I asked for prayer for that in 16 and in 17. And I think what that meant for me is that physically I wasn't healthy. I was taking, at the time, 3 blood pressure medicines, and my blood pressure still was borderline. I had gained about 60 pounds since the birth of my son, Deacon, and I was not sleeping well. And so physically, I wasn't healthy. And so it felt impossible. It truly did. I tried all different kinds of diets. If you ever went to lunch with me, you knew what that was like. I worked out, tried different workout programs, and seemed to get some traction, and then I'd fall back. And it wasn't just affecting me physically, it was affecting me emotionally. I found myself struggling, feelings of depression over it, especially over my failure. I found myself struggling even spiritually. I was going to food to satisfy things that food couldn't satisfy instead of going to the Lord. And I was struggling. And so I requested prayer, and it seemed so devastatingly impossible. In 2016, God began to answer that prayer. I met with a doctor, Christian guy here in town, and he kind of in passing just made this statement to me that I should consider what's called weight loss surgery. And honestly, when he told me that, I was flooded with shame. I thought, there's no way that I'm big enough or out of shape enough to actually require the drastic measure of surgery to correct my problem. And so that year, I started to try to get things straight. And I failed again. And in 2017, it became even seemingly more dire. And I decided I'd make one really big effort to get physically fit. And I found myself with a broken down body. My joints ached so much so that I could barely walk around the block with Danette. And it was at that point, after that last effort, that I decided that I would enroll in the bariatric program here with Presbyterian Hospital. And even that was not smooth sailing. In fact, it usually, most patients who go through it, move pretty rapidly from the program to surgery. And I found myself kind of wallowing, still going back and forth, grieving the loss of feasting. I knew that if I had this procedure done, that I wouldn't be able to feast like I used to with my friends and my family at special events. And it's something that I really enjoyed, and I was grieving the loss of that. I was approved to have the procedure done in May, and on July 17th of 2018, I had bariatric surgery. And what that means is that they basically made my stomach the size of a banana. They removed that excess stomach, and my actual pouch became the size of an egg. And that meant that I would be restricted on calories. And that was just the kickstart that I really needed. And then through the physical part started to get better because I couldn't eat as much. I've also lost 90 pounds. And I found myself feeling healed emotionally as well. But I sense God's presence through all of this. I sense God's healing power through all of this. And I feel so much better. I was eating lunch with a friend today, and he was telling me as he looked into my face that my face, the light in my face looked different. And I think that's totally attributed to the Lord. It's attributed to him answering prayers of my wife, of Danette, my mother, my father, and probably even my kids. Again, I have a long battle ahead, but I see the Lord working. I see fruit, and I see health. Losing the weight isn't the end game. It's getting healthy spiritually, emotionally, physically. And I'm thankful for what God has done to help me and the ways that he's answered my prayers.